Remember the blue K&N filter, the spray filter? When you're driving a little higher, it starts to inflate so much, it covers like all your view, all your vision. So everything that is a little bit to the right, you don't see it. So I just removed it. Let's try it again. Stringa dar droselis.
Aš trumai pastebėjau, kad kažkas tokio buvo.
Bet jisai buvo ir prieš tai taip. Ten mes jau ir papildomą spyruoklę įdėjai.
A ne?
Ja.
Kur ten prisiparkuot norėjai?
Aha, pabėgo, aš taigi jėlį pasiekiu jį. So yeah, that's it. Thing is why I'm doing this.
Why?
So on this Camaro I have installed Wisefab E92 Wisefab kit. We have quite a bit of bump steer. Steering rack needs to go down and it's technically quite difficult to do. So I want to see how bad it is, how drivable it is. And I will get you my thoughts a bit later. So this is later. This is 1 week after those initial tests of Camaro. So what are my thoughts about that chassis? It is a pretty heavy car. I waited the day before we did testing. It was with me in it 1,515 or 30 kilograms, I don't remember exactly. Pretty good weight distribution front and back. If I remember correctly, it's like 48% in the back, which is very nice. Abdurrahman, what are you drinking? Yeah. So it's a pretty heavy car, but it moves. And why it moves? It moves because the wheelbase is very long and we added a lot of width to the car. So wheels are like basically in the very corners of the chassis, which means it gives it a very big footprint and gives that agility to the car. It's very low. When a stock car is running on 20s or 21 inches,
and you put 18s on it with a 35 section tire, it's gonna be low. Not to mention a drop knuckle design for the front Y swap. I did my best to raise the subframe in the rear, changes attitude, basically give it some different anti-squat characteristics, and also we modified the suspension pickup points to be able to adjust them later on. And that's about the rear, and the front is just adapted Y swap. And as I said during testing, it had, when measuring, it had a lot of bump steer, which was concerning me, but driving wise, although we did one change to minimize it, and driving wise I had no issues with that. Definitely has, I think, a lot of what you would call dynamic Ackerman. Steering rack is really close to the center of the axle, so if you imagine the tie rods are pushing forward, and they add quite a bit of angle to the leading wheel when you start turning, because there is certain inconsistency in the way the steering responds. Obviously the toe settings were not exactly right for the car. It is making 520 plus hub HP, meaning like on the wheel it's a little bit less, but above 500 horsepower. So far, the way it behaves, I am pleasantly surprised. It is doing better than I was expecting. And yes, we added a sway bar in the back to also help it with some rotation and quicken weight transfer. So that's my initial thoughts about it. It needs quite a bit of little things. The tires we were using were Zestino's soft ones in the front and Zestino's medium ones in the back, because there's nothing to compare with. It felt okay, let's say like that. So yeah, and now we'll get to drive. We're taking Said's S13 and Said's 370Z. But about that will be another video. So thank you again for watching. See you later.